the moment that I reach towards the cage to help, he turns into like these giant, like big fat white spaghetti noodles.
Oh. Welcome to The Dream Show, where each episode I sit down with someone just like you.
I'm in a current phase of pushing myself to do things.
To decode the meaning behind your dreams and explore their connection with trauma, healing, and the subconscious mind.
I do like to watch and see where the dream takes me.
My name is Jesse Lyon, your host, a licensed counselor, certified trauma hypnotherapist, and a dream interpreter. So whether it's a nightmare...
I don't know why, but I knew that he was talking about me. And he comes storming up to the door. And I remember him shouting, "Where is my son?"
A bizarre scene or something too weird to even describe.
It was so traumatic for me, literally, I have blocked all but this memory.
We dive in and learn to listen to the messages that your mind is trying to tell you. Let's jump into it. Welcome back to another episode of The Dream Show. And today I'm joined by another follower, Candy. Candy, thank you so much for being here. How are you?
I am good. I'm very excited.
That's great. That's great. A little bit of nerves too?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, it's always weird being on camera. You know, I've done it for long enough that like it's just kind of normal now. But I tell you what, when I was making those first TikTok videos, I hated it. I hated it so much. It's very weird.
I get that. Yeah, I get that.
Okay, well, Candy, as we get into this, we're gonna get into this dream that you have sent me, and talk about what your mind may be trying to share with you. But as we do that, it's always very important for us to start with kind of a background of whose mind we're dealing with. So do you mind, like, where are you from? How old are you? What's your family background kind of stuff? Just some general things of what your life is like.
Yeah, absolutely. My name's Candy. I'm a mom of 5. They range from 16 all the way down to 4. So I'm in the thick of it on both ends.
Oh man, yeah. No, none of them flown the coop yet. You're solidly.
I really am. Yeah, I've got 2 teenagers, a preteen, and a toddler, and so it's great.
That's great.
So fun.
That's great.
Yeah.
I just got the one toddler. I just got the one toddler for me. But
let me tell you,
I grew up oldest of 4.
Enough. Yeah, 1's hard enough, and 4, he's learning all his boundaries. He's pushing all of his boundaries, and he's testing every single person's patience that he comes on.
Did you ever see yourself having five kids? Like, was that always the dream for you?
Oh yeah,
that's cool. You like big family?
I know. Oh yeah, ever since I was really little, I wanted a big family. Like, I wanted a huge family, but when I met my husband, he was like, "No, I only want 2 kids." And I'm like, "Well, I want 6." And he's like, "Well, I'll meet you in the middle at 4." And I was like, oh, "Okay, cool." And then when I had my 4th one, I knew that I was still supposed to have another one. I was like, "There's one more out there," and everyone thought I was absolutely crazy that I wanted another one. But I was like, "Nope, I have another one. I feel like there's a little person missing." And sure enough, almost 6 years later, we had another one.
Oh, I love kids so much.
Oh my gosh. He is the little caboose that just ties our whole family together. It's
I love it.
Yeah, he's just so precious. I love all of them, but he has a special place, I think, in all of my kids' hearts. So he's a fun little guy.
That's great. I mean, with all those kids too, I mean, you stay at home with them, or you also try and keep a job outside too? Like, what's that like for you? I mean, man, I got the one, and he's killing me with his time.
Yep, I work full time, and I go to school full time.
Wow, I don't know how you do it.
Oh.
Is school full time too? What are you studying?
Computer science.
Wow, good for you. Good for you.
Yeah. I'm hoping to eventually go into either web design or cloud computing.
Great stuff. Great stuff. Do you work in that field already?
No, right now I work in human resources at Utah State University. I'm part of the training and development team that we have here.
Oh, nice. Okay, I saw that in your email that you put that in your bio.
So.
Nice. Wow, the university. Okay, well, so you're busy. You're busy.
It is pretty busy all the time. Yeah, there's trainings happening all the time, and I just try to coordinate and facilitate and make sure that they have everything ready, prepped for their classes, their locations are ready, and things like that. Setup is taken care of for them. So.
Wow, good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. Okay, that helps give some context. It's like you
Okay.
kind of live in the academic world. You've got a lot of like maternal sort of energy and maybe some characters going on in there.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, you've got your husband, you've got situation going on. What part of the world do you live in too?
Utah, northern
You're
Utah.
well, Utah. Hello. Should have paid attention. Okay, great.
That's okay.
So that gives me an understanding. Well, so tell me a little bit about this dream that you've got for us here.
Okay.
Launch into it. The floor is
Okay,
yours.
I'll just read. I'm going to just read what I had typed. I mean, I could go into so much more detail because my dreams are very detailed, but I tried to just give the shortened, slightly detailed version.
Okay, well let me ask that then. What is
Okay.
kind of your dreaming style? Like, is this a normal dream for you? Do you dream very visually? Are you a lucid dreamer?
All of the above.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, I've had dreams where I know it's a dream because I'll force myself to try to write something in my dream. And I know when I can't write anything or I can't dial numbers, like I've had dreams where I'm trying to call somebody and I can't get the phone to work properly. I can't get the numbers to go where I want. And then I realize, oh, I'm dreaming. This isn't real.
Have you seen that one that goes around TikTok at least once a year where they say, isn't it weird that you've never had a dream about a cell phone? And then I come on and be like, many of my followers tell me all the time about dreams of cell phones.
Yeah, I haven't seen that video, but I dream all the time that I'm trying to pull out my cell phone.
Yeah, it goes around the internet. Oh, at least once a year. They're like, it's a conspiracy theory, right? Dreams are all like some kind of weird sort of out of this thing type of experience because you've never had a dream about a cell phone, have you? And I'm like, so many people tell me about specifically yours not being able to dial the number on their cell phone. I'm like, so much dream content is just
It's
that's why I'm here.
I've been telling people about this that I was going to do this, and I was like, which dream should I submit? And I'm telling like 3 or 4 different ones, and they're so bizarre. Like each one of them is like its own thing, and they're just so different. And so I've got like supernatural-esque type dreams. I've got dreams where on one of your channels one night, I think on your live one Wednesday night, I had mentioned in there that I have narrators in my dream, and they're not me.
Whoa! Like
they're like
disembodied voice, like narrating the
they're
story.
male. It's a male voice that narrates my dreams sometimes.
Maybe you've been listening to too many of my bedtime stories narrating dreams.
Very well could have. Hey, very well.
Wow. Okay.
So my dreams are all over the place.
Very vivid, all over the place. They tend to be bizarre. And how often would you say that you're aware of the dream while you're dreaming? How common is that for you?
So maybe only a couple times a month.
Okay. So less frequent, but certainly a couple times a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, then that helps a lot too. Take it away. I would say as you're going through it, like I love you reading through what you've written here. It looks great. But if there's a part that feels more emotional, emotions are always a great way to tell the direction that you should go in a dream. Because the symbols are all need to be interpreted, right? You know, they're not conscious symbols, but the emotions in dreams are usually one-to-one. So if I'm sad in a dream, there's some sadness I'm dealing with in life. If I'm like afraid in a dream, there's some fear that I'm dealing with in life. So I would say if you are asking, well, what should I embellish a little bit? The parts that feel emotional to you, go ahead and tell me the details about those parts, because those are probably the parts that your mind is trying to direct your attention towards. Does that sound okay?
Okay. Yeah.
Nice. All right.
Yeah.
Candy, take it away. I'm all ears. Okay.
So I was walking through a dimly lit building that had a very Renaissance design. And as I'm walking through this building, I'm walking towards the exit. So there's like archway doors.
Okay.
And all of them are, there's a number of doors. All of them are closed except for one. One of them is open. And as I'm approaching this door, I can kind of see that it's not like midday or anything. I can't tell if it's like early in the morning or if it's later at night. And I'm kind of leaning more towards later at night.
Okay. But kind of a transition period, like either early morning or late at night. The sun is either coming up or going down.
Yeah.
Okay. That's important.
Because it's not super bright out. through the door.
Okay.
Like it's dark where I'm walking. It's not lit or anything like that. And I'm walking towards the outside of this building. Like the door is swung open.
Okay.
I even put in there, it's a left hinged door. Like, and it was how it was swung open was about 3/4 of the way. And there's this, and there's like a prisoner's cage hanging off to the right-hand side of the door. And I'm assuming that this thing's hanging from the roof. So as I walk or as I get closer, I notice that inside of there is a little boy, and he's about 6 to 8 years old. He's sitting like with he's just sitting. He doesn't have any clothes on except for like a little tiny loincloth. And he's like sitting. I put in here. He's sitting with his knees bent, a little scrap of cloth around his waist, and he's crying. He's holding the edge of the cage. Was dirty and malnourished, and the entire cage was on fire.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I also tried to put this one in one of your lives as well, and it banned it. It wouldn't let me.
I bet it would. I bet TikTok censorship is rough.
Yeah, it censored it, and so I was like, oh, I'll figure this one out later. But anyway, so I hurried out the door, and there was like a little small landing. It couldn't have been very big, and I'm standing there, and it's right before like the start, to go down.
Yeah.
I'm trying to talk to this little boy, but like I can't get any words out. I can't get anything to come out. And the closer I get to the cage, the more fire happens on this cage, like the bigger it gets. And I'm trying to save him, but like the moment that I reach towards the cage to help, he turns into like these giant, like big fat white spaghetti noodles.
Oh.
Like, I mean, I'm talking like big spaghetti noodles.
Big spaghetti. Was it spaghetti or was it just some kind of noodle shape?
Noodle shape? I thought it looked like spaghetti noodles.
Yeah. Do you think it was spaghetti?
I don't know. Like it was like, they were like big noodles, and he just like
noodles.
Melted and like slid out of the cage, and I was trying to catch him.
Oh no.
All these noodles like kept sliding out, and I couldn't get a grip on any of them. They all just slid out, and then as they fell onto the ground, they just like slid down the stairs that were on the outside of the building. And that's when I woke up, because I was so upset that he had melted and I couldn't grab on to him. This is, by the way, this is the second dream I've had with spaghetti noodles that I could not grasp onto.
Are you hungry for spaghetti often? No.
No. That's funny.
I did have a good friend of mine who learned to lucid dream because she started a diet and she wanted to still eat donuts and fast food. So she learned how to lucid dream so she could eat donuts and fast food in her dreams.
That's amazing.
And stick to her vegetables. So it's not far from the truth. I'm being silly, but it's actually happened. So
that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's funny for sure. Okay, so I'm getting a sense of the bizarre nature of your dreams. It's like what a powerful emotional symbol. And then spaghetti noodles, really big spaghetti noodles. It's like what on earth? Okay, so let's start here.
Okay.
What part of the dream feels the most emotional to you? Because, and I want everyone to kind of hear this as I say it, amateur dream interpreters will sort of project their own emotions onto the dream, and that's just not fair. Right? I'm thinking there's this boy in this cage and it's like, oh my gosh, that's so sad. And it's like, you may not have actually felt any sadness at that part. Now, maybe you did, but it would be inappropriate for me to just assume that was the most emotional part for you. It could be being in the cathedral was the most emotional part, or it could be the frustration and not being able to grab the spaghetti noodles was the most emotional part. So I'm asking for you, where does it feel like the emotional sort of fire of this dream rests?
I think in the part where I couldn't do anything. Like I couldn't do anything to help him. I couldn't save him. And then fact that it was
wanted
like,
to get him out.
Yeah, wanted to get him out, and the fact that like it just fell through my hands and I couldn't grasp onto anything to save him.
Yeah. What would you call that feeling if you're going to give that feeling a name?
I don't know, maybe a sadness.
Sadness? It's a negative feeling for sure.
Yeah.
Sadness. Does the sadness feel more on your inability to save him, or sadness for the pain that he's kind of going through?
I think more my inability to save him.
Gotcha. Because, it can go many different ways. Like some people might feel guilty that they can't save someone. Some people might feel empathy for the pain that he must be going through. Some people might feel anger at whoever placed him there. And so, you got to ask these questions because the story can go in so many different places.
Yeah.
So for you, it's like, why am I unable to help? I mean, there's even that part in the dream where you're trying to call out, but it's stuck in your throat, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because not being able to save him is actually what woke me up.
Oh.
So like that's the part where I woke up, was that like after the noodles went down the stairs,
right?
After they like slid down the stairs, that's when I woke up, and it was I don't know if it was like that I was sad and I was stressed at the fact that like I couldn't catch the noodles, even though like when you're in the dream, you don't recognize it as being like noodles. You know what I mean? Like
no.
Because it all is in the dream. But then I woke up and I was like, I really got stressed. I couldn't catch noodles. But at the same time, I was like, it's got to mean something. I don't know. So
yeah. Okay. And I've got some thoughts about what it means, but I want to explore the outside of the dream before we, before I'm certain of my interpretation.
Okay.
How did you feel in the cathedral part before you walk into this room where this boy is in the cage? How did that part of the dream feel for you?
Kind of more curious than anything.
Okay, so no negative feelings at that part. It started when you notice and see this boy in the cage and want to help him.
Yeah.
If you were going to expand this dream and think about the storyline of why he's in the cage, is there anything that your mind thinks about when you think like, was he being punished? Was he being tortured? Was he, I don't know, is in like a church? He's some kind of demon boy that's like,
oh.
I mean, I'm not suggesting anything, but like, what feels like the story for you there?
I don't know. Like, I guess if I were to put a label on it, from him, I guess I felt like he was helpless.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was, to me, like that's kind of, I think, I thought he was just helpless, that like he like, and this might also be, I think, the mom side of me that comes out, is that like,
that's good.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that children should be punished like that.
You know what I mean? Fiery cages? So, yes, I agree.
Yeah. So in my head, I don't know how to justify that scenario of a child being put in that. And I guess in my dream, I don't know if I think I was startled, I think, like, seeing something like that. And then it's like the range of emotions that happen is that like, you're startled to see that. Because then I like picked up my pace to get out the door, tried to talk, tried to save, couldn't. It's like this like chain of events that happens. And I think the emotions that come with that is like, where I started out just kind of, and it's not like I started at one point in this cathedral. It was like, or this building. It's just, I was there.
Yeah.
And I just started walking. Like, that's kind of how the dream started. I just started walking towards the exit of this.
Right. So there is at least a component, maybe not sure exactly how the boy got in there, but there's at least a component of innocence. He doesn't deserve this.
Yeah.
Well, that's fair?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Gotcha. Okay, let's start to unpack it. Well, clearly, as you're walking through this cathedral, is it religious, the cathedral?
Not that I can tell.
It's just a corridor with arches.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
So maybe let's start there. So when we're walking down a hallway, like corridors, buildings with arches.
It was just a big open room.
Oh, it's a big open room with doors.
Yeah, big open room. And I can't really remember what was off to the sides of me. I just remember it was really big, really open.
Yeah.
As I was walking towards these doors. And the only reason I knew I was walking towards the outside was because I could see outside of the one door. All the other ones were closed.
Yeah, well, that's what you said. All the other doors are closed.
Yeah.
Well, so doors have kind of two pieces to their meaning. The room is, well, sort of metaphorically, it's a thought or a space or an area inside of our mind. You know, if you expand that symbol to a house or a building, that stands for like the whole person or the psyche. Right now, that can be specific. Like if you have a dream where you're in an office building, that's kind of like your psyche when it comes to work. If you have a dream that you're in a house, usually that's your personal psyche. And each room symbolizes a different part of your psyche. Now, the reason I keep saying psyche is it's a term that combines both sort of the structure of the brain along with the more emotional personality parts. So it's both of those together, where I think if I just say brain, I don't just mean your neurons. I mean the whole person, like your Myers-Briggs, your Enneagram, you know, your past experiences. And so all these doors and the doors in there are both portals to other parts of ourselves, but also other opportunities. Some doors open, some doors close. And we use that terminology inside of our day-to-day life all the time, like door of opportunity, right? You know, when opportunity knocks, all these sorts of things. And so here is the opportunity, 3/4 open. So it's not fully open yet either. You're pushing into an opportunity and opening this up. And so inside of this opportunity, kind of getting out even, because it's like outside, right? Or is it go into another room?
Nope, it goes directly outside.
Okay, I was making sure I got that right.
Yeah.
So it goes
outside.
It goes outside, and so you're exiting into this other kind of opportunity, and you're confronted with this very startling picture of something innocent being trapped. Now, it happens to be a boy, malnourished, not clothed well, and trapped, unable to get free. And there's this feeling inside of you of, I want to set this free. Now, we know in dreams, there are kind of two levels of interpretation. There's the obvious sort of level, we call that manifest content. And then there's the more emotional level, we call that latent content. So an example of that would be like if I dreamed about filing paperwork at the university, it'd be like, well, that's pretty straightforward. But the deeper meaning may be I'm stressed. I'm dreaming about work even while I'm not at work. So there's levels. This one, maybe there are some areas that you feel trapped in, right? That's a little bit obvious, but let's go deeper.
Okay.
When we go to that deeper part, those symbols inside of our dreams represent all different pieces of ourselves. And that's kind of the key rule of dream interpretation, are all of these different parts of the dream are all parts of me. And so as I see these, I'm having to wrestle with these different parts of myself that are in conflict. I want to call out, but oftentimes in life, there's times when I don't feel like I'll be heard, or I don't feel like I have the strength to speak up for myself. Right? It'd be one kind of symbol there. But let's look deeper at this child, right? Well, it's masculine, right? It's a boy. And inside of Jungian psychodynamic theory, there is the shadow side of both men and women. Now, for a man, it's called the anima, right? And that's the shadow feminine of somebody. I'm male presenting, so shadow feminine of a guy, be your anima. Yeah. For a woman, it's the animus, right? And the animus is the shadow feminine. Now, when I say shadow, it's really important to kind of unpack that. Shadow doesn't mean bad, but I think a lot of people think it means bad. Shadow just means like I've got my studio light here and it's hitting my face. This part of my head is not lit up. It's in the shadow. So the shadow is just the parts of myself that I don't show the world. See that kind of metaphor there? Yeah. As we grow up, the shadow can become very intense though, because, well, sometimes we learn that there are parts of ourselves that other people don't want to see. Right? Like when I'm little and I'm having a great old time and I'm hooting and hollering and yelling and just full of ecstasy and vibrance as like a little boy, you know, some adult might tell me, shh, be quiet, you're being too loud. And so I learn that, oh, this is a part of myself. Being too excited is a part of myself that I should cut off and throw into the shadow. That's not accepted. or when I get bullied in middle school, or, you know, I get dumped in high school, right? Or, you know, I fail at my first job, or I get criticized by a mentor. It's like all this whittling away of throwing things into my shadow. Well, it grows and it festers. And as we try and exit parts of our life and enter into new opportunities, we are confronted with the shadow, right? So you start to see this storyline unfold. I'm trying to exit one part of my life and enter into a new part of my life through this door of opportunity. But as I try and do that, I'm confronted with the obstacle of my shadow. So let's get even deeper, right? It's specifically this masculine part, which has certain qualities and characteristics. But it's a part of yourself that hasn't been taken care of. And so I've got some hunches and some thoughts about what that could be, but maybe I'll open that up to you for projection. It's like, what is this masculine part of yourself that you have not taken care of and tried to keep locked up inside yourself? Is that resonating with you as I start to say that, or we need to go deeper?
I don't know. I don't know if I have, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I don't, yeah, it's not, I don't,
okay, we'll
not
keep
off
going.
the top of my head.
So think about the parts of yourself that may be uncomfortable to embrace, right? Because it is a part of you.
Okay.
But let's keep going. Masculine energy tends to be very logical, very analytical, right? But also very, very assertive. Now, we're not talking about boys and girls, right? There's like, you know, the way that I live my life and the way that you live your life. We're talking about sort of archetypes here. So it's like sun energy, masculine energy, as opposed to feminine energy, more moon energy. I don't mean anything spiritual about that. I just mean vibes, right? It just means sort of like personality types. You know, some people are very sunny. Some people are very like night moon driven. You can see that when you talk to people. And so, you know, I think about this little boy and it's like, at what point in your life did that assertiveness, that confidence, that masculine drive, goal-directed energy get bottled up and caged? Is that starting to connect with something?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. I don't know, it could be when I was little.
Because you said like 6 or 7, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, it
6 to 8.
could be right around the same age. I went undiagnosed ADHD up until about a year ago.
Okay.
And I feel like a lot of things that I didn't understand from my childhood make a lot more sense now. And I mean, I was never directly told that I was too stupid to do anything, but it was very indirectly told to me all the time, especially from teachers, because I couldn't grasp the subject quick enough. I think once I understood, I think my learning and like how I process and how I understand things, I realized that I was not stupid, that I did learn differently. So, I mean, I think it still affects me to this day. I think, like if I feel like
the comments and the criticisms.
Yeah. Especially when I come up upon hard things in my life that you know, when you take on a new position or you're trying to learn a new program, I guess, like I've had to learn a couple new. Yeah, exactly. And so I feel like sometimes, you know, those little negative voices that are always floating around, sometimes get louder than I would like them to be. And I feel like a lot of that just stems from things that I guess were said to me in my childhood from people who were supposed to be, I guess, the support system that you have when you're in school.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. And it's a lot of people's experience who, well, a couple layers. It's a lot of people's experience who have neurodivergent brains, right? Is being told that you're too stupid, you're not going to make it. And then even more so, though, a little girl who has ADHD tendencies. It's often misdiagnosed and missed and not diagnosed until much later in life because little girls know how to be, quiet, subdued. It's a little bit encouraged for them to kind of be that way, and so they fly under the radar where they're just sitting nice and cute in their chair and doing their thing, but they are struggling to concentrate, and the teacher has no idea what it's like in their head, and they just say, well, you must be dumb.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much.
That's not fair.
Pretty much. Yeah. And it was it was right around the 3rd grade. So that's 3rd grade is right around 8.
Yeah.
8 to 9 years old.
Is there anything else going on in your life at that time that this dream is pointing to? I mean, maybe not, but I just figured I'd ask.
I had a really, really horrible teacher in the 3rd grade. Like, she was mean.
Oh.
Like, just mean. And I think
rude.
she was
mean.
Yeah. She was very mean. She used to I can't remember specifics. I just remember the feeling that I would have during her class.
Mm-hmm.
I would ask to go to the bathroom, and I would raise my hand very politely, like I was supposed to.
Yep.
And she would tell me, absolutely not. You just went to the bathroom. You will wait. And yeah. And, being somebody who I had to go to the bathroom a lot, like that was just a condition that I had. And
what's a girl going to do?
Right. And so there were instances also where like I couldn't get the stuff that like the subject matter that she was teaching, and I couldn't understand it. And she would come over and she would lean down at my desk and she would like point like very angrily at my desk and like hit really hard and be like, I don't know why you can't understand this. But she was already like, I think older. She had like gray hair, I think when I was there. So she was already older, and I just don't know if it was
She's grumpy old
as
woman.
I think about it. Yeah, I know. As
Really?
I think about it, I just think that maybe it was just her generation. That was just some things were just unacceptable from that generation when they were kids, and it trickles over into her education of teaching and things like that. But she always made me feel like I was too stupid to do anything, and that was actually my turning point of where I began to hate school.
I think it's so interesting when we experience really negative situations like that. In order to cope, we often try and think about why it is that people do the terrible things that they do. And it's like, well, I don't know if it was her generation or not. I don't know if I care. It was not nice and it wasn't right.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. But the brain wants answers, and so it's like, well, maybe it was her generation. Maybe it was this, maybe it was that. Maybe if I had done this, it wouldn't have been so bad. It's like, well, I understand that the brain wants answers, but sometimes it wants answers so bad that it makes the painful experience more painful. That makes a lot of sense. And I don't think you even realize all the things that you said.
Probably not.
which is so beautiful because there's so many hidden like layers to it. And it's like, there was a lot of stuff going on in 3rd grade, and you're being compliant, being like, trying to be as best a kid that you could possibly be while trying to cope with these parts of yourself. It kind of ruined this like very forward directed drive that you had. It's like, as you try and achieve your goals, you're shot down from them. That goal directed energy can be seen as more masculine type energy. It's more straightforward. It's more goal directed. And it shoulders burdens and takes on responsibility. It's like, well, what responsibility can I take on if I'm too stupid to be able to do it? And so here's this caged potential. So I think I'm understanding it's not, some of it is the wounded child, like that inner child within you, but it's also symbolic of potential. It almost seems, here's this starved potential. Would you agree with that too? I mean, I think a lot of the stuff that I hear online when they criticize dream interpretation is like, it's all, hearsay and stuff like that. It's like, if I'm off in the wrong direction, please tell me, because this is a big part
Okay.
of how we interpret dreams. Is like, I'm just trying to help
Yeah.
you find the truth that's already inside of you.
Yeah.
And so if we're going the wrong
Yeah.
direction, let me know. But it sounds like you're resonating with some of it.
It is, yeah, because my mom always tells me, like, and I think a lot of moms, right? They get their mom goggles on, and and they're always telling their kids, like, oh, you can be anything you want to be. You can do anything that you want to do. You just got to put your mind to it. You got to, and work hard to do all the things. And I feel like my mom always told me, you have so much potential. You just need to find where it is, like where it can be at its best.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I don't know, even still to this day, I don't know, I guess, particularly what that potential even is, or like to where my potential could be, or where I should focus to, you know what I mean? I don't.
Well, it has to be let out of the cage first and fed and clothed in order to even see what it wants, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but there's something I'm getting at that's even further down.
Okay.
When if you can remember for a moment back to what it was like when you were in third grade and dealing with that teacher, when she would say those things, how did you feel?
Ashamed.
Ashamed?
Mm-hmm.
Would you
embarrassed,
shrink inside yourself, like
oh yeah,
ashamed and embarrassed?
Yep. I learned real quick not to be the one to raise their hand, to ask for better explanations. That carried on up through high school.
Wow.
Yeah, I barely graduated high school. Like, I mean, I don't really care that whoever watches can watch, but I did. I barely graduated high school.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of that was because I don't think I had the belief in myself that I needed to grasp the content that I was learning. Unless it was a favorite subject of mine, I was not. I felt more like I was a bother or a burden to someone else to try to help me understand the material, because I should have been able to get it. I should have been smart enough to be able to understand it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Okay, watch where this goes, Candy.
Okay.
There's a reoccurring theme in this dream of things that are taken from you. Dreams often speak in the number 3. And so I think there's 3 parts that this dream is trying to tell you specifically. I think I've asked enough questions to kind of get to the bottom of it.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. The first one is you try and speak, but your voice is taken from you, which is one of the things that was robbed from you. I can no longer raise my hand. I can no longer ask for clarification. My voice is robbed. Right? So your dream is trying to show you 3 consequences of the caging of your shadow based on that time in your life at 6 to 8 years old. First is voice. Second, the cage is on fire. We haven't gotten to the fire symbol, and I've saved it for this part because it's so important. I think it's kind of the centerpiece of this whole dream. Fire can go one of 2 ways. It's got positive sides and negative sides. Positive side is the fires of passion and romance, the fires of motivation and drive. But on the negative side, it's the fires of anger. And so if you think about it, like what was robbed from you, you shrank inside of yourself. And when you should have been angry at the teacher who said terrible things to you, you turned that anger inward and burned that inner child inside of you. And that anger turned into feelings of hopelessness and sadness and guilt and shame. And so your voice was robbed, your anger was robbed. And then finally, as you try and reach out to help, feeling helpless to defend against these things that you in a vulnerable position as a child were being told by a person in authority who should have been protecting you and caring for you, not putting you in a cage like an innocent little person, you turn into noodles, which seems strange, but it makes perfect sense. Well, when you call somebody spineless and you say that they're like a limp noodle, it's because they can't stand up for themselves anymore. And that's the third part of the dream. Your voice was robbed, your anger was gone, it turned inwards and burned your inner child, and then you lost that ability to stand up for yourself. And so if this dream happened kind of recently, I wonder what part of your life you're struggling with that is playing an impact on these same areas that have plagued you for so long. I think there may be something that you're facing that those experiences have taught you to not stand up for yourself, not voice your opinions, and not have the same passion and drive, because deep down you worry if you're good enough to make it.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Is there something you're presently going through that dream needs to remind you of those things and those challenges?
Probably school.
School.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense because you learned these things from school and now you're back in school. I mean, that's like returning to the scene of the trauma, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does make sense.
That resonates.
Because it was during spring, just this past spring semester, probably I think February, end of February, I think beginning of March is when I had the dream. And it stuck with me like the entire time. It had stuck with me this entire time. And it's one that I can't get out of my head.
It's in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. So I'm a big believer. Just interpreting the dream, I don't think is enough.
Okay.
I think that a lot of people are like, oh, what does the dream mean? Oh, it means this. And it's like, well, that's depressing. What am I supposed to do with that? I just genuinely don't think that our brains are like that. I don't think your brain wants to make you miserable. It just doesn't make sense to me. How does that do you any good? So here's the question. 2 questions. Let's start with the nice one first. If you could imagine yourself being that boy, and like really, really take a deep breath and like put yourself in those shoes. What does he want to say to you? What does he need to say to you? Yeah. That one.
Sorry. Maybe that it's okay. Like, it's okay to not. It's okay to to struggle. It's okay to, because now that I think about it in my dream,
yeah,
he didn't beg for help.
No, he didn't.
He was crying, but he didn't beg for help. You know, and so in my head, I just think that maybe it was like, we're sad about the situation.
Yeah.
But maybe there wasn't much that could be done at that point, I guess. I don't know.
I love that. It's okay to struggle.
Yeah.
It's okay to struggle, and just because you struggle doesn't mean that you're a failure.
It doesn't mean that I'm too stupid.
There it is. That's what I thought too. Just because you struggle doesn't mean you're too stupid.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. I think that's not only what he wants to say, but perhaps what he needs to hear too, no? Maybe that's something you can tell yourself more often.
It probably is. It's something that I can tell myself more often.
That's a write it on a sticky note on your bathroom mirror kind of thing.
Oh, it really is. It's one that and I feel like sometimes, you know, as a parent, we can sometimes put ourselves on the back burner.
Oh yeah.
For the well-being of our kids.
Oh yeah.
Because that's, you know, because I feel like, because I've got two neurodivergence.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm always trying to tell them, I think, the same things that I wished somebody had told me.
Mm. There's a lot of healing that comes from that.
Yeah. So I feel like, and it's not that I have anything negative towards like my parents or anything like that in that aspect of things. I think it was also that I don't think I spoke up. Again, like I don't think I spoke up for myself. And so I think my parents,
yeah,
you know, and I think that my parents just thought that I didn't care, you know, and when I see that my kids are kind of going through that same thing, I'm trying to do, I think, the things for them that I didn't have for me.
Yeah. Oh,
That maybe I recognized a lot of my struggles that I went through when I was little in my kids, and I just refused to have them go the rest of their life with that feeling. But I also don't apply that to myself when I know I need to.
I know. Sometimes we give the love we never got.
Yeah.
Well, and you said something that just struck me so strongly, that you didn't speak up for yourself. But I almost want to take that back from you and say, as an 8-year-old, you shouldn't have to speak up for yourself like that. You know how you do it with your kids. Like I can tell just from meeting with you now and having a little one myself, I get down on their level, I look at them eye to eye and be like, buddy, what's going on? Like, tell me, I can see that you're not okay. You didn't even have to say anything. I can just tell, right? You've got mama instincts.
Oh yeah.
We've got parent instincts. I've got daddy instincts. I get down and be like, are you okay, buddy? What's going on? You're feeling something. Yeah. Like, yeah. He says, Dad, feel sad. Like, I can see you feel sad. I'm like, what do you feel sad about, bud? And you tell me something that didn't go the way he planned or something he's frustrated at. And we talk it through. But he didn't have to, like, I'm not going to hold his feet to the fire because he didn't stop, pause, look inward and be like, well, I am upset and I'm having these feelings because of this unexpected outcome. Not for an 8-year-old, right? So it's like, I mean, you can even see some of the undue responsibility that you even take on now of like, well, I didn't get the help because I didn't speak up. And it's like, well, your voice was taken from you, but even so, you shouldn't have even had to. Someone's supposed to come alongside you, like your parents. And I'm sure they're great people too. I don't know what they're like, but I'm not trying to talk ill about them, but just saying.
Oh yeah, I know.
Sometimes we're so tough on ourselves. So tough on ourselves.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah. Okay, so there's the nice part. Now the not so nice part.
Oh, I thought we had that. Okay.
Yeah. There's one last piece.
Okay.
Why do you keep him in the cage still? If you let him out, why is that dangerous? I mean, because he's caged like a wild beast. He's caged like a little demon, no? In the dream? I mean, we put dangerous things in boxes and behind bars to keep other people safe. So there's this part of yourself that I'm sort of intuiting, right? I'm guessing a little bit here, but I'm following the storyline of the dream that leads me to believe that this part of you is scary for some reason. And so I wonder if you could allow yourself to imagine. Obviously, it's not logical, but it's a feeling. Why do you keep him caged? Why is he so scary? If you let him out, what bad things might happen?
Failure.
He might try.
Yeah.
He might try and he might fail. And if you fail, Candy, what happens? What does that mean?
I don't actually know. I mean, there's a lot of things, obviously, as a human being that you fail at, but
sure, there's the logical side. If you don't try, if you don't fail, you'll never succeed. Yeah. But stick with the emotions. It's like if you fail, that's risky.
I feel like if I fail, I think that label of not being good enough or not being smart enough and I don't know if this is outside stimuli or if it's just internal. But that feeling of being too stupid to do what I've set out to do.
That's kind of what I thought too. You see, everybody knows that I'm a trauma hypnotherapist. And so there's ways that the subconscious mind speaks, and there's traps that it gets into as well. And one of those traps is what we call a double bind. Now we can use double binds. I, as a hypnotherapist, use double binds for good, but the brain will often use double binds for negative. Simply what that means is it's the illusion of choice, right? So somebody will be very anxious and they want to relax, but they don't know how to. And so I will give them a false choice, right? I'll be like, okay, take a seat, take a deep breath. And in a moment, or even right now, your eyes will start to close and you'll become relaxed. I gave them the feeling of choice. I said, in a moment, or even beginning right now. It feels like they can choose to do it in a moment or right now. But what I told them is, your eyes are going to close and you're going to relax, damn it.
Yeah, pretty much.
But I said it in such a nice way that it
Yeah.
put them in a double bind. It's like, well, I feel like I have choice. I feel like I have control over the situation.
Yeah.
And they do. But sometimes we get so in our heads and so anxious that we don't allow ourselves to relax. That's a nice way to use it. The nasty way that your brain uses it is, if I keep him caged, I won't fail. But the reality is, you feel like a failure because you never even tried. And so you look at your life and like, oh, well, I never did that. I never did this. I never did that. But if you let him out and you make a mistake, which is necessary for growth, then you're also a failure. So it gives you this illusion of, well, I can let him out or keep him caged. But the truth is, your mind is telling you, I'm always a failure, because that's what you believed. You see that? It's sneaky. It's sneaky.
Yeah, very. The mind is a fascinating thing.
Well, it's interesting, the hoops that the mind jumps through to try and keep us safe. And when you see them, you can work through them and then have success and overcome them, and it's great. But sometimes it's hard to see them, especially when they're inside of our own heads. That's why I'm such a believer in counseling and dream interpretation, hypnotherapy. It's like, we all need somebody. I need somebody. You know, I've got people that I talk to in my life, therapists, counselors. I can't see my own blind spots. That's why they're blind spots.
Yep. Very true.
Yeah. Well, so those are the two pieces, right? It's like we found the dream, we found the emotion, we learned the interpretation, but then we took it further. It's like, these are the things my mind is telling me. And even further, these are the obstacles that I'm afraid of that keep me from doing the things I know I ought. So I hope with this insight and wisdom now, you get to be free from those things and live your life in the way that you want to. You're not a failure. And I hope you make plenty of mistakes, and I hope that you enjoy every single one of them.
So far-ish.
Good. And I can see you've started that. I mean, you're back in school. You've already started that journey.
I did, yeah. And I found a way that fits me and I guess how I learn. It's online schooling through USU.
Nice.
I do a lot better with that, just because I can take my time on some of the materials and I can do a little bit more research on some of them so that I can better understand outside of the material that's given to me. Because I can't really, So I do enjoy it, and I am, and I haven't failed a class. so that's good.
Well, for your own good, I hope you find something nice to fail at. I hope that you enjoy that experience, you know? And maybe I've prescribed this to many of my clients, you know, in the past. Of course, this is a YouTube show. It's not for mental health. It's not a counseling session. No treatment or diagnosing of mental conditions. But, you know, I have had situations with clients in my office where I've prescribed them, your goal is to fail this week. Choose something and fail on purpose. You see, double bind. So if they choose to fail, then are they succeeding or are they failing? And if I gave them the homework and they're successful with the homework, they will have failed at something. So I put them again in a double bind. They feel like they have a choice, but really they're succeeding either way. But they're succeeding by failing. Hypnosis stuff. So it's like, maybe you find a nice way to choose something. It's like, I'm going to go fail at this week. And I'm going to sit in that emotion and tell myself, way to go. I'm proud of you for failing. I'm proud of you for trying. And you let that little boy out of the cage.
Okay.
He's a good kid. You take care of him, right?
I will.
Candy, thank you so much
trying.
for being so honest, for being so vulnerable with your dream. I know that there's a lot of people who can identify with the exact feelings that you felt. And I hope they all take the moment to leave a comment and encourage you down below. And I hope this is a video you can come back to and see that encouragement in the future and remember how far you've come. So. Thank you so much for taking the time to do that. Anything to shout out before you wrap up? Any closing thoughts?
I love my family.
Yeah.
They're very supportive.
Family means a lot.
My kids and my hubby are very supportive of me going to school.
My mom shout out too. Kids and hubby. And shout out mom.
I know, right?
I love it. I love it. I hope they comment too. That's great. Candy, thank you again. And to everyone watching, thank you so much for joining us on this little journey. A special thank you to Julie and Empowering Me, who did your pre-show interview. She's wonderful and one of the sponsors of the show. There's links to all of her amazing stuff about empowering trauma survivors in the description down below. But until then, see you in the next one. Bye.